This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(1:15 p.m.) This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanaikal. The headlines. The President says that Sri Lanka will not support any task that obstructs the unity of Asia. Compensation for the fishermen who were affected by the Express Pearl ship was paid for the fourth time. The opposition leader says that his party will take legal action to support the program to charge compensation for the damage caused by the Express Pearl ship. The adjournment debate on the Express Pearl ship is being debated in Parliament for the second day. Foreign Minister left for Stockholm, Sweden this morning to attend the second Indo-Pacific Ministerial Forum. Foreign news, Israeli airstrike kills missile commander in Gaza. News in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe says that Sri Lanka will not support any task that obstructs the unity of Asia. There are many political differences in the Asia-Pacific region. He pointed out that the action should be taken to safeguard the peace and stability while identifying these obstacles. He expressed these views at a ceremony which was held for the completion of 50 years of constructing the BMICH yesterday. A 25 rupee denomination stamp was issued to mark the day, and a book on the history of the BMICH was also presented to the President at the occasion. He further said that Sri Lanka can move forward by utilizing the Asian policies and following the guidelines, following the 5 precepts. Compensation for the fishermen who were affected by the Express Pearl ship was paid for the fourth time at the Ministry of Fisheries this morning under the patronage of Minister Douglas Devananda and State Minister Piyal Nishantha. Compensation was paid to selected 30 fishermen in the first round. Compensation to other fishermen will be provided through the Divisional Secretariat Office relevant to their residences. More than 15,000 fishermen were affected due to the loss of their livelihoods because of this ship accident. Meanwhile, compensation was also paid to 20 fishermen who lost their fisher nets and equipment by the insurance company of the ship. Currently, more than 3,000 million rupees has been given by the insurance company for the ship as compensation. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Digital accounts can now be opened in 10 minutes. People's Bank Digital Banking, your ultimate convenience.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa says that the Samagijana Balvekya of the Samagijana Sandhanaya of the Samagijana Balvekya will take legal action to support the program to charge compensation for the damage caused by the Express Pearl ship. He said in Parliament today that the initial notice has been directed in this regard. Accordingly, notices have been directed to many institutions. The opposition leader pointed out that compensation charges should exceed the current estimated 6.4 billion rupees. At this juncture, we should show to the world that no one is ready to betray the country. 225 members of the Parliament should get together in this regard. He also emphasized the importance of a debt restructuring program to be implemented by the government in the future. Parliamentarian Kabir Hashim said that the government is taking measures to close some institutions in line with the local debt restructuring program. The adjournment debate on the Express Pearl ship is being debated in Parliament for the second day. Joining the debate, Minister Prasanna Rantunga said that the government did not act to hide this incident. A select committee was also appointed in this regard. A case was filed in Singapore under the advice of an Australian company and the Attorney General's Department. Foreign Minister Ali Sabri left for Stockholm, Sweden this morning to attend the second Indo-Pacific Ministerial Forum scheduled to be held on the 3rd of May 2023. The forum is organized under the Swedish presidency of the Council of the European Union in collaboration with the European External Action Service. The foreign ministers of the European Union and Indo-Pacific region are expected to attend. Foreign Minister Sabri will co-chair the first round table discussion under the theme of building more sustainable and inclusive prosperity together, one of 3 round tables of the forum. Minister Sabri will hold bilateral discussions with a number of foreign ministers, including Foreign Minister of Austria, Denmark, Finland, Latvia, Netherlands, Romania and Sweden. The minister is also scheduled to meet business community, especially CEOs and senior officials of the IT industry in Sweden. And that news for now.
Debit card, mobile and internet banking and cardless cash accounts can now be opened in just 10 minutes with no form filling with People's Bank Digital Banking.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Minister Mahinda Amarweera said that the government will take measures to provide fertilizer subsidy at a lower rate. A cabinet paper in this regard has been submitted. At present, the fertilizer needed for the yellow season has been provided free of charge. Vouchers to purchase fertilizer for the yellow season will be issued. Accordingly, 20,000 rupees will be given per hectare of paddy land. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Now in Watchlight, residents of the Perakati area says that they are facing many difficulties for not having a bridge across the Walavai River. They have made a request to the relevant authorities to construct a bridge to this area for a long period of time, but still they have not paid attention to this matter. Therefore, they request the relevant authorities to take speedy solutions with regard to this issue. Came to you in Watchlight. Now moving on to world news in the headlines. Israeli airstrike kills missile commander in Gaza. U.S. border crisis. El Paso braces for worst as Title 42 deadline looms. Bank says that India's Russia oil imports jumped tenfold in 2022. A pre-dawn Israeli airstrike has killed a top Palestinian Islamic Jihad commander and 2 other militants in Gaza. A warplane attacked an apartment on the 5th floor of a building in Hamad residential city near Khan Yunis in the south of the territory. Yesterday, militants in Gaza fired more than 460 rockets at Israel. The Israeli military hit more than 130 militant targets in Gaza, and the heaviest fighting in 9 months. 25 people have been killed in Gaza since Tuesday morning when Israel began its operations against the PIJ, the Palestinian Ministry of Health, there says. A record number of migrants, more than 10,000, were recently apprehended at the U.S.-Mexico border in a 24-hour period, fueling fears over what comes next when a controversial immigration policy expires today. Now here the realities of what some have termed a border crisis more evident than the Texas city of El Paso. Here migrants, many of them confused about the impending rule changes, have been left sleeping rough in makeshift campsites on city streets over the last several days. Several thousands were camped out earlier this week around a single church in the city center. India's imports of Russian oil rose tenfold last year, according to Indian state-controlled lender Bank of Baroda. The figures show Asia's third-largest economy saved around $5 billion as it ramped up crude purchases from Moscow. It comes as Western countries have been cutting their imports of energy from Russia after its invasion of Ukraine. Russia has been selling energy at a discount to countries like China and India, which is the world's third-largest importer of oil. And back to the headlines of the world news. Israeli airstrike kills missile commander in Gaza. U.S. border crisis. El Paso braces for worst as Title 42 deadline looms. Bank says that India's Russia oil imports jumped tenfold in 2022. And that ends world news.
Development News.
State Minister Rohana Disanayake said a discussion was held at the Ukuala Divisional Secretariat Office recently on many development projects. The discussion was focused to establish a new police station and to take speedy measures to prevent the rail accidents that are occurring at unsafe railway lines. And that was development news. Now moving on to sports. Sri Lanka women's team won the second T20 match with Bangladesh by 7 wickets. Batting first, Bangladesh's team scored 100 runs. And at the end of 18.3 overs in reply, Sri Lanka women scored 101 runs in 18.3 overs. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Colombo Stock Exchange recently signed a memorandum of understanding with the University of Moratuwa to formalize collaborative efforts to improve financial literacy among the undergraduates in Sri Lanka. The collaboration proposes to promote capital market education among undergraduates by working together on a number of mutually beneficial strategic initiatives. Accordingly, the initiative would offer practical educational training and internship opportunities for students of the University of Moratuwa who are engaged in accountancy and finance, business management and economic related degree programs with the CSE. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Economic news, courtesy of
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking.
In economic news, Chief Executive Officer of the Sri Lankan Airlines, Richard Nuttall, told media that Sri Lankan Airlines has posted a profit of $3 million in the past 12 months. While these figures are still to be audited, the airline has essentially broken even for the first time since it was managed by Emirates. And that was economic news.
LONC Finance is taking the power of innovation to the next level, winning 5 golds at the Technovation Awards 2022, leading the digital revolution with cutting-edge interbanking digital payments. LONC Finance claims the overall gold award whilst also claiming an extraordinary victory in digital banking. LONC Finance will continue to innovate with the next generation digitalization of financial services, delivering a superior customer experience.
Weather Report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern and southern provinces. Fairly heavy showers of about 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara and Galle, and also in the Mathura district. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern province. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere over the island, particularly during the afternoon or night. Strong winds of about 40 to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over western and southern coastal areas and along the western slopes of the central hills. The general public is advised to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. And that was the weather report, and prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The President says that Sri Lanka will not support any task that obstructs the unity of Asia. Compensation for the fishermen who were affected by the Express Pearl ship was paid for the fourth time. The opposition leader says that his party will take legal action to support the program to charge compensation for the damage caused by the Express Pearl ship. The adjournment debate on the Express Pearl ship is being debated in Parliament for the second day. Foreign Minister left for Stockholm, Sweden this morning to attend the second Indo-Pacific Ministerial Forum. The foreign news, Israeli airstrike kills missile commander in Gaza. And with that we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.